Hello, welcome to the JK Show. I'm JK, your humble host. It's not the middle of the night as it was last time. It's the middle of the evening. It's about 7:30 in mid-America. And there was much rejoicing. Or at least a moderate amount. Because I got my Bible. I got some water. I got a webcam. And I have you, my loyal audience. My loyal spectator, if you will. Singular. This show is kind of like this Tom Schneider show. The Late Show with Tom Schneider. Boring show. I don't understand why it was on TV so long. And may you rest in peace after dying of cancer. But that was boring. That was boring TV. Boring. The Late Show with Craig Kilborn was much funnier. And as I said yesterday, I really enjoy the Late Show with TV's Craig Ferguson. I like how he still calls himself TV's Craig Ferguson. Like he's not really that big of a deal and he needs to tell us that he was on TV at one point. And it's true, he's not uber famous, except that he's a funny guy that has a late night TV show, you know. I guess you could say that the JK Show counts as late night TV, since I usually record it at night. But I don't think it's that funny. It's probably shaping up to be a 21st century version of the Tom Snyder Show. So anyway, Jason was surfing around Wikipedia today. And what an interesting vehicle for information is this Wikipedia. There's a lot of good articles on Wikipedia, and then there's a lot of articles that were apparently written by people who didn't make it out of the 10th grade. And don't really know what a citation is. So I was surfing around Wikipedia, and I found an article on one Burt Randolph Sugar, who, if you don't know who Burt Randolph Sugar is, he's a boxing historian, aka the crotchety old guy that shows up on ESPN telecasts in between the fights to tell the announcers and the young whippersnapper of a host how wrong they are about boxing. No, but Bert's cool, and apparently he's written tons of books, not only about boxing, but about his other favorite sport, baseball. And so I realized that Bert is somebody that I could easily get along with. I like Bert. He writes about things that are interesting to me. We had an interesting discussion the other day, as I'm on the subject, about boxing. Me and some Catholic friends were sitting around talking, and they scared me at first because they had said that the magisterium had decided that boxing was immoral. And I grant you that it's barbaric. Immoral, that might be a stretch. Well, that should be the same thing, you idiot. Yeah, I know. But boxing is fantastic. We wouldn't have the Rocky series without boxing. We wouldn't have Muhammad Ali without boxing. We wouldn't have the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. well, we wouldn't have Million Dollar Baby, which I grant you, it kind of sucks at the end. Not necessarily the ending you're looking for from a distinctly Catholic and Christian worldview there. I don't want to spoil the movie. It was a good movie, but I don't blame all the disabled people in the world for being offended by the way that ended. So, I wasn't that offended. I just thought, well, if this happened in real life, you're going to pay for that eventually. So anyway, I need to sit up straight. Hang on. We did something extremely tacky this afternoon, which was my morning because I woke up late again. We went out to a breakfast place, but it was really expensive. So we sat down and then we're like, want to go somewhere else that's a lot cheaper? Yeah. So we did that. I felt really rude. And then our other friend explained that we're all poor. I don't really know that he needed to do that. I would have been even more rude. I'd have been like, look, your food services are too expensive. I'm taking my dining dollars elsewhere, as it were. And then, there you go. The other thing I was doing, besides calling around Wikipedia today, was this beloved YouTube that we're conversing through right now. And YouTube is great because you have all that music on there, old television, movie clips, stuff, etc. So, there's some really hilarious, hysterical old Sesame Street clips, and I was perusing those. Since I've been recently obsessed with James Taylor's 1979 performance of Up on the Roof on Sesame Street, I was already inclined to click on things that were labeled Sesame Street, and so I did. And there's some really funny songs with famous people involving letters. Patti LaBelle singing "How I Miss My Ex" with the letter X. That's quite funny. And then an obnoxious, sort of handsy letter U, assaulting Smokey Robinson as he sings, "You really got a hold on me." Get it? You really got a hold on me? You? Really? Yeah. So, that was enjoyable. Sesame Street's really funny. They may have gone downhill with the recent promotion of homosexuality and things like that. But it was a funny show and an enjoyable educational experience in my youth, and it was nice to go back and relive some of those humorous moments from a bygone era when Reagan was actually president and not just an old guy that we buried a few years ago that Republicans suck up to. Good era back then. I like the recent revisionism of Reagan a little bit. Kind of the peacenik revisionism. That he was adamantly opposed to nuclear weapons and actively worked to dismantle the U.S. nuclear arsenal. That's exciting. That's good. There are things about Ronald Reagan's presidency that aren't so good. But that's one of them. Most of the fiscal policies were pretty good. except for the spending problem. Um, so it's nice to take a little flashback into my childhood, and you know, I should have known that Frank Oz was the voice of not only Yoda but also Grover and Miss Piggy, etc. Because you can hear it if you listen to Grover. It's like, yes, do, do or do not. There is no try. I can't do Yoda, but that weirdly Hebrew syntax, that's good stuff, isn't it? I'm gonna crack up about that for a while. I don't have anything to say. I think I'm gonna go watch TV now. I leave you with one final thought before we go. If anyone tries to tell you that Genesis 22 is not about Jesus, ultimately, then they're wrong. Then they've gotten a little too Protestant, and they need to take a cold shower and meet my friend Typology and say hello. Because yes, of course, the parallels between Isaac and Jesus are not exact. But you'd have to be a blithering idiot to read that story and go, where have I heard that before? Oh, I haven't heard that before anywhere. Come on. Really? You might have a bunch of master's degrees and a bunch of letters behind your name, but if you don't come up with Genesis 22 is ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, in the glorious puzzle that is revealed redemptive history, if you don't come up with that's about Jesus, you need to give up and start over. That's the way I feel. That's my 2 cents. Blessings to you, Tim Butler, on your PCA ordination exams. Even though you should forget that PCA business and join the Catholic Church. And you too out there, you know who you are. And yeah. Woohoo. I can do better than that. Woo! Catholic Church! What's up? We're where it's at. Catholic Church. It's what's for dinner. Catholic Church. The narrow gate. Catholic Church. If it's good enough for Rocky Balboa, it's good enough for you. Catholic Church. Only half as corrupt as the worst sinner that you know. Alright, that's enough. Have a nice day, everyone. Blessings, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.